Raza joined my batch program and finally he cleared PMP. Now, clearing PMP is one of the most important thing when it comes down to for a professional, especially for engineers. But it becomes more interesting when you don't have time, when you are extremely busy, then it becomes more interesting. So that was the case, I would say the curious case of Mr. Raza. So we started working into it, and then slowly, we took few steps towards the PMP, and finally we got it done. So one thing I want to share it here, that Raza is like so many changes all the time in his direction, so many changes that we need to look into, that so many changes he has to work himself, that make his things difficult. But that is the beauty of what I would say, how Raza has worked along the way. He kept on moving, like I would say, one step at a time. He saw something and he kept on moving, and finally he did it. Raza, I want you to tell your journey in your own way. Everything that we went through, everything that has gone through the entire journey, in your way, whatever you want to share, if you can, please.
Thank you so much, sir. I just start by saying I appreciate your support and guidance and mentoring me throughout. It's been a long journey. There was not a single moment that I reached out to you and I haven't gotten any support from you, regardless the time of the day. And I know we work in different time zones as well, but even then, you would, at max within a couple of hours, I would receive your response on what to do, and your support and guidance as well. So thank you so much for that. My journey started with batch 3 of 2022. That was more than a year ago, and the batch program was excellent. It was my first time with PMP subjects and courses. So, but the way that you describe, it's very close to real life examples. It was really easy for me to grasp. But then, due to my work-related commitments, I was not able to give much time for preparations, and was able to not work or commit fully to PMP. So breaks came in, I wasn't consistent, and I lost track. Then during mid portion of 2022, I started again and tried to pursue PMP again, start working with you again. Then again lost track in mid of 2022. And I remember I was also working on my professional engineering license as well at that time. And that was around the same timelines with my PMP as well. So I had commitments with those as well, some exams, some interviews that I had to pass. And thankfully I did pass those as well. Those were time bound as well, and those were some conflicting commitments there. But then towards the end of 2022, I tried one more time, but was not able to again complete it. But then again in 2023, I came back again and I said, no, I need to do this. And I believe in a couple of months of work, I was able to complete it. And I think it's
What would
not
be your
more than
advice? Please continue.
yes. In a couple of months, I was able to complete with consistency. I don't think it would take more than that. If someone just commits for a couple of months with your program, following what you tell them to do. And it's not much, honestly. Like I remember during the last couple of weeks or maybe a month at max, I was putting in 4, 5, 8 hours a day, and even after work I was putting maybe 3 to 4 hours. I used to sleep very late, but that was my commitment to having it done, because I wanted to get it done. And then our application was expiring as well. We got a few extensions, but that was it. So that was the deadline for me to have it done within. I didn't want to go back and apply again. And ideally I would have wanted to get it done last year. but it's all good. I'm happy with the journey. At the end, I was a bit a bit maybe I would say down, thinking that I may not be getting those coaching calls with you. I may not be communicating with you a lot more now. So it kind of developed a bond with you, and to kind of your mentorship. It's very good. It's I appreciate it a lot.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So this is something that we will be going back and working into that and looking into that way, how each step can help us into becoming in a better professionals. And yeah. Okay. So, okay, let's talk about this thing. So how did you manage time in the exam?
Yes, sir. My time in exam was cut to cut. I followed your guidance and stuck to it. I did the first section in 80 minutes and then 75 and 75. And my exam was, I wouldn't say it was easy. I would say it was more so on a difficult side as well, because with your mocks, I was able to complete them well before time. And I did many mocks as well. But when I went into the exam, the questions were, kind of like lengthy, maybe more tricky. And one of the things that I found trickier was that many of the options were very similar. So even this is where elimination technique comes in really handy. And I found myself spending maybe 3-4 minutes on one question because I was not able to
3,
identify.
4 minutes on one question.
Yeah, at times, but there were questions that I was able to strike them off very quickly. But there were questions that were very tricky, and I had to reread them again and again to pinpoint keywords in them, because 2 or 3 options were looking like a accurate answer for them. So what would be the difference? How can I eliminate them? I would go back to the question and identify any key scenarios or words to eliminate them. This is where, at times during one section, I was behind time as well, but I made up time, but I was able to do them in 80 and then 75 and then 75 minutes. So I think I completed my exam maybe 10 seconds or 12 seconds remaining only.
Okay, but you are able to do that. That is the most important thing, right?
That is right.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about further on. Which area was exam more challenging?
Sir, I would say they kind of have, my particular experience was that they were combining business environment with people environment. And that was making it a bit trickier in sense that there were stakeholders involved and there was compliance involved as well, or governance involved as well. So I would say the major focus of the exam again is in people. That has been there's process, and there were a few calculation questions as well, but in general, I would say it was heavily geared towards people's, and any compliance or business environment related questions were also infused with people scenarios. So we had to, juggle with 2 scenarios rather than one.
Okay, we have to juggle with 2 scenarios rather than one. That's an interesting point of view to look into that, like how different perspective add into that value. Okay. Stakeholder communication, team agile is still the most dominant area of the exam. This is the
That is
most.
correct, sir. By far, I would say, I would say, sir, agile and hybrid as well. I don't think I have gotten any, and if any questions, like whatever few questions that I got, they would specifically write that this is a predictive environment. Majority of the questions were geared towards agile or hybrid environment. And by hybrid, I would say, they were also combinations of incremental and iterative as well. So it wasn't just agile and agile predictive, but it was also incremental and iterative life cycles as well.
Okay. That's an important thing to look into. What advice you would say to those people about two things. First, how to maintain consistency, because 90% of your batchmates have already done PMP. And you have seen yesterday we hit 400 PMP in this year. Now, 80% of my students clear in within 1 to 3 weeks of span. It took you 1.5
Yeah,
almost
exactly. So
one
one and a
and a
half
half
years.
years to give the exam. Of course, I did so many times I yell at you. I don't even remember. So first of all, thank you for taking that my mood swing, which happens a lot. But the most important thing is, what would you do the first thing for those people, how they can come back, bounce back, and maintain consistency? Because Raza, to be very frank, you were only consistent for last 1 month. To be very frank, okay,
Yes.
when we had a discussion and you said that my application is going to expire, and I asked you, did you pay? You said, I haven't paid. And I said, then it does not matter. We can reapply. Okay,
Yes.
you can reapply. So then you started studying for it, because I said it, okay, we will review it a week before the application date, and before I told you, okay, let's give the exam now.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So, because you studied for that 1 month. So what would be your advice to those people? And charity begins at home. You know what I'm talking about. How
That is correct.
how we can get it within 1 month, or if you get detracked, how to bounce back, please.
I see. Thank you so much, sir. And I would say start off very small. So small chunks of success brings encouragement. What I did was, when I started, like you mentioned, I was fully committed for last 1 month or so. But I had been studying for it probably maybe 2-3 months. But I was doing my reviewing the batch program videos, reviewing the journey videos, and all the pathway videos as well. And I was going through all of the sections, or all of the components of PMP, all of the subjects. I was going through them again from the start. Even though I had gone through them, I was ready for the mocks. But since there has been a gap and I wanted to kind of get into the groove, I basically went through them again. And so those are very small portions, like small topics, people, very easy to understand, and you can easily get the 60 questions or 50 questions done for the topics. And once you do that, you realize that you're making progress, you're getting good scores. So I would say start off small and be consistent. So that is the goal for the question as well. How to be consistent? I would say start off very small, and once you start getting the good success, good scores as well in the questions, that would be it. The other thing is that the coaching calls motivate a lot. When you see other people's answering the questions, and you're able to join with them and understand that as well, you see that, okay, I'm at that level as well, that I can do that. And also, when you see your batchmates or the people on the coaching call going for the exams and passing that, then you also realize that, okay, I'm not too far from them. So it's just a little push that I need, and I would be able to cross the bridge. So I would say joining the coaching calls to see how other people are doing as well, and also taking small steps of success. Those are to regain consistency.
That is really beautiful, and I really loved it, because this came from a person who really got it done. So this is something I really appreciate. Okay, Raza, let's talk about this thing. Now, that was a building consistency. How to do root cause analysis, and how to keep moving forward even you have bad scores. Because to be very frank, while I was talking to you, I'm getting message of 3 to 4 students that their scores are not so good, and they are getting disappointed. Of course, I try to do counseling as much as I can do. But what would you say, how they can work on it, how they can improve their scores?
First thing first, I would say if we maintain the sequence of topics that you provide, it's very crucial because each subsequent topics include questions from previous topics as well, or scenarios from previous topics as well. So I would say maintain that sequence so that it's possible. Also, it's possible that the root cause analysis, do the root cause analysis of the wrong questions, as well as it is also very important to do the right questions. And for me, root cause analysis was one of the most time taking because I would dive deep into the question and see. So even, maybe it would take me more time than actually solving the questions than doing the root cause analysis, but that was all worth it. Doing the root cause analysis and then reviewing it afterwards as well. So because when we are doing root cause analysis, we are just doing one question at a time. But when we are reviewing the root cause analysis, we can build up some more information, knowledge that is important for us to solve subsequent mocks or questions. So I would say do the root cause analysis and review the root cause analysis for both the wrong and the correct questions as well. And take your time. If it's taking more time, don't rush it, because the more quality you put into the root cause analysis is going to reflect into your future progress for the mocks as well and future results.
Okay. Thank you very much. It has been a very fruitful journey. Each one teach one is the mantra, and I hope you can take it and you can make it real. Raza, it's been few days, but I'll appreciate if you can make 10 questions, exam-like question, so that I can use it in the next PMP marathon. Thank you very much for your time. It was an honor to finally record your journey.
Definitely, sir. Definitely, sir. I will just give you one more.
Yes. Tell me. Yes, Raza, I can hear you. Raza, can you hear me, brother?
Sir, I've lost you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, I can hear you. Sorry. Yes. Sorry. I think maybe some communication noise over here, but
yes.
I just wanted to give you one more quick point as well to the future aspirants for PMP under your batch programs, that if you want to get some more motivation, family members, especially parents, they are a huge motivation. For me, my parents were a huge motivation in coming back to track, and even starting off with the PMP in the first place. My mom, my dad, they've always kind of encouraged me to do this and to do some extra studies and extra certifications over and top of my engineering. And then also, during the last couple of months, they are with me, and they've guided me, or kind of like motivated me, encouraged me throughout. And even when I was in the exam, they were all like praying here for my success. I was not confident that I was going to succeed, or even after this exam that I saw, it was a bit tricky for me, and I wasn't sure that I was going to get all above target. But when I came back, they mentioned that they'd been praying. So family members, like significant others, or especially parents or siblings, they're a very good motivation or motivating agent, I would say, for driving you to success. So for all the aspirants, use that. That's a very good key that we can use.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate what you said it here, and looking forward for future cooperation, and best of luck for future. Thank you, Raza. Assalamu alaikum.